Only one type of burger. For every pallet. Fries are extra. Large in size. We've got the shakes. Going over the brim.
Hey, this is Chris from JCW's. Put a positive, delicious spin on your day at any one of our 5 locations. In Lehigh, American Fork, Provo, South Jordan, or Harriman. JCW's, quality and a lot of it.
Do you love the Tabernacle Choir? This year, the choir's music is everywhere you are. Listen to your favorite choir songs and music and the spoken word anytime you want on Alexa by simply enabling the skill.
Alexa, play music in the spoken word.
Now playing music in the spoken word.
You can also download the Tabernacle Choir app, subscribe to the choir on YouTube, listen on Spotify, and have access to all their wonderful music. Happy listening.
It's your Jazz recap here on DJ and PK 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. Jake Scott with you. The Jazz lost to the Wizards at Delta Center last night, 133 to 110. The Jazz were down by as many as 37 in this one. Made a run in the fourth quarter, but of course by that point it was well in hand, and the Jazz fall to Washington. Let's get to the post-game sound and get to Jazz head coach Will Hardy.
In a rhythm offensively for a majority of the night. I think it kind of zapped some of our energy defensively. This is one of those games we probably just need to flush and move on. I felt like we were a step behind from the beginning of the game. You could see it in some of like the ball handling and the passing and catching. Like we just seemed a little bit clunky tonight. So thought the guys hung in and fought, but on to the next one.
Seems like moments, John Conchar, doesn't matter if you guys are up 30, down 30, he's still playing as hard as possible. What do you like about his approach, no matter what?
Yeah, that's who John is. He's a competitor. He's a winning player. It's not always pretty, but the way that he gets deflections, steals, blocks, rebounds, makes simple plays offensively, he's really kind of a connector for us on both sides of the ball.
What did you think of Blake's fight there in the fourth quarter?
Yeah, Blake is somebody that I feel like we know pretty well at this point. We've got to continue to clean up some of the defensive stuff for him, but his ability to catch and shoot and get shots off in tight spaces is definitely something that we're excited about.
With Cody and Ace on nights like this, where so many of the other guys they're used to playing with aren't out there, do they get an opportunity to assert themselves better as leaders and floor directors? And if so, do you like what you see? Yeah, they get to be more of a focal point in a lot of ways. And I've been really pleased, and we're all very proud of the way that they're handling themselves in those moments. It's an opportunity on nights like this for everybody to take on roles that are maybe a little bit above what they've had in a variety of ways. But the communication piece is definitely one of those. They have a pretty good baseline of knowledge of what we want to do. And so when you're playing with guys that are on a 10-day, like you're way ahead of them. I think they've been really good teammates throughout the season, but it's nice to see this moment where they're more of the giver of some of that information as opposed to taking some of the information from the vets. How critical are these last 9 games in terms of player development?
Very. We don't want to waste a single day that we have with these guys. It all adds up. And that's our focus, is to maintain our discipline as it relates to our approach. That's on practice days, that's in their individual workouts, that's in the small group workouts, that's in our film work. We need all of it. And any increment of time that we have with our players is really valuable.
How do you feel like it's gone so far this season in terms of development for like players like Ace and Isaiah?
Yeah, I'm very pleased. I think they've all improved in a bunch of different ways. I think they've shown the ability to learn too, which is very exciting. Sometimes it takes a while for things to be taken from the practice floor and actually implemented in games with success. And I think the 3 guys you mentioned, have really grown on both sides of the ball. It's been a lot of work. It's been them having to hear the same message over and over again, and there's a monotony to getting better. If it was just as simple as us saying something one time or them hearing it one time, the process would be a lot easier. But all of us have to dig in and chip away at the same things every single day, and that's, you hear coaches talk about that a lot. Hey, we have to hammer on these things over and over again, but it's not lost on me that for the players, sometimes that monotony can be frustrating. Like, oh man, I'm working on the same thing over and over and over again. But for it to become a habit that you go to when you're tired and you're going full speed and you're in the middle of the game and you're not necessarily actively thinking, it's more like you're going on recall and instinct, takes a lot of reps. Thanks.
That's Jazz head coach Will Hardy. Let's now move on to Blake Hinson.
That fourth quarter, when that defensive spark happened, what did it take to just reach that level of defensive intensity?
There's good energy. The ball was going our way in that time period, and just naturally, intensity picks up in general. So that's what happened.
We've known you're a shooter since you came here with the Jazz, but when did you learn how to shoot? What was that progression, or when did you learn you were a shooter in your career?
Even when I wasn't a shooter, I thought I was a shooter. So long time since very young.
Okay, dating back even before high school?
Yeah, for sure. Just like I said, I used to shoot with two thumbs. Parents used to be yelling in the stands, please get inside, and I would still be shooting. So yeah, I always thought I could shoot.
Obviously, you guys will scrap this one. You head on the road tomorrow for a back-to-back. What's the mindset heading on the road when you are in the final stretch of the season?
Man, just play, get intensity going. And I try to carry it over on both sides of the ball.
And what is your mindset specifically when you're going out on the court, just trying to prove what kind of player you are?
Energy and effort. I tell myself that all the time. Energy and effort, and doing my job for sure. Those are the only three things I have to stick to, and I'll be successful.
What kind of things are you looking forward to improving on defensively, too, that coach has kind of maybe talked to you about?
Whatever they tell me.
What are those things?
Whatever they tell me. Yes, whatever they tell me. If they tell me to jump through a wall, then that's what will be done.
There's Blake Hinson, 21 points in just 11 minutes. Caught fire in the fourth, 6 of 8 shooting, 4 of 5 from 3. But the Jazz come up short. They lose to the Wizards, 133-110. Next up, the Jazz take on Denver tomorrow night in Denver. Tip-off will be at 7. Pre-game coverage begins at 6. Coming up next, more DJ and PK, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.